Hello everyone, welcome to the Anime Recap Media YouTube channel. Please like the video, subscribe to help our channel and enjoy this full video.
Our story begins with Wakana Gojo, an insecure but passionate Hina doll maker. As a child, he was extremely impressed with his grandfather's doll making skills and wanted to someday create dolls of his own. But a friend tells him that it's a girl's job and not a boy's, which demoralizes him. Years later, Gojo wakes up from the sound of his alarm. He goes downstairs and talks to his grandfather for a little bit before heading to school. Unfortunately, Gojo doesn't have any friends. He isolates himself from others at school out of fear of being ridiculed for his hobby. He even thinks to himself that maybe it would be better if he wasn't here at all. Moments later, he's introduced to Marin Kitagawa when she trips and falls into his lap like a wingless angel. After school, Gojo is cleaning the classroom alone when he runs into the angel again. Kitagawa suspects that Gojo is being exploited to clean up after school, even though it's not his job. She tells him that he needs to stand up for himself and not be a doormat. When his sewing machine stops working, Gojo decides to use the one at school instead. As he's talking to his Hina doll's head, Kitagawa barges in, followed by an awkward silence between the two. Gojo is extremely embarrassed, but rather than laugh at him, Kitagawa expresses her admiration for his tailoring skills. Suddenly, she removes her clothes and shows him a cosplay outfit that she's been working on, of a video game character named Shizuku. When Gojo criticizes her cosplay and her substandard sewing technique without thinking, Kitagawa asks him if he might be able to make a cosplay for her instead, and explains how important this video game character is to her. Despite having never made clothing for a real person before, Gojo agrees to help her. He tells Kitagawa that he knows nothing about the character that she wants to cosplay, and she explains that Shizuku is a character from the erotic video game Slippery Girls 2, leaving Gojo quite perplexed. She then hands him a guide on making your own cosplays. The next day, an eager Kitagawa unexpectedly arrives at Gojo's house and goes straight to his room. He's flustered by her presence and feels even more uneasy about taking her measurements, but an unfazed Kitagawa strips down to reveal that she came in wearing a bathing suit. Gojo is extremely flustered, but he slaps himself hard and pushes aside his impure thoughts to focus on what he needs to do. He can't help but feel awkward when measuring Kitagawa's size, but she seems pretty chill about it. But when he's done with the last measurement, Gojo notices that she's blushing. Afterwards, Kitagawa gives Gojo a copy of Slippery Girls 1 and 2 so he can play them and use them as a reference for the cosplay. Gojo's grandfather catches him playing the game later that night and understands that such desires are normal for a healthy young boy, but he is surprised to see Gojo taking notes. At school the next day, Kitagawa spots Gojo and thanks him for helping her. Gojo is surprised that Kitagawa doesn't treat him any differently in front of her friends, but he still avoids Kitagawa for the rest of the day because of his dream from earlier. Kitagawa eventually spots him again and confronts him about his evasive behavior. Gojo explains that he feels awkward around her, but she reassures him that they're friends now, so he shouldn't worry so much. Afterwards, they go shopping together for her cosplay outfit. Once they have the wig, they head to a lingerie shop to get some garters and stockings. This is extremely awkward for Gojo, and Kitagawa has a lot of fun teasing him. Later that evening, they head to a ramen shop, where they embarrass themselves in front of other customers by discussing the Slippery Girls game series out loud. Before they part ways, Kitagawa mentions that an upcoming cosplay event will take place in 2 weeks. Seeing what little time he has, Gojo becomes anxious that he might not be able to finish the cosplay on time. When he arrives home, Gojo's grandfather is happy to see that Gojo had been doing some shopping with his friend, but he's shocked to see a pair of stockings in the shopping bag, causing him to fall and injure his back. Gojo takes his grandfather to the hospital, where his cousin Miori joins them. She tells her grandfather to stay at her place for the next 2 weeks so he can get some much-needed bed rest, and he accepts her offer. At school, Gojo explains his situation to Kitagawa, and she offers to help him in any way she can, so they exchange their contact information. The next morning, he calls Kitagawa to tell her that he's finished the cosplay. She arrives shortly after and is completely astounded by Gojo's craftsmanship. But Kitagawa apologizes to Gojo for making him work so hard, and reveals that she was not supposed to attend the event in 2 weeks. She starts crying, because she was the one who created the misunderstanding. Gojo manages to calm her down by telling her that it'll all be worth it if she's happy with the outfit. He then makes her put on the outfit and helps her with her makeup and other adjustments. The end result is flawless and Kitagawa absolutely loves it. Gojo then takes some pictures of Kitagawa cosplaying as Shizuku and compliments her. She's happy with the results and uploads the pictures on social media. Kitagawa then tells Gojo that she wants to attend a cosplay event tomorrow. When they arrive, Kitagawa is incredibly excited while Gojo is more restrained. Kitagawa gets a lot of attention from the other attendees thanks to her great cosplay. As he watches her have fun, Gojo begins to wonder if this will be the last time they hang out together, since he has now fulfilled his promise to make her a cosplay. When Kitagawa is feeling hot, she reveals to Gojo that she was wearing double bras to make her boobs look bigger and now she's having difficulty breathing. They both go inside the building, and Kitagawa cools off by making Gojo unzip her. On their way back home, Kitagawa tells Gojo that there are 51 other characters that she wants to cosplay and would need his help. He's happy to hear that they'll be able to keep hanging out together after all, and agrees to help her with her future cosplays. A drowsy Gojo then tells Kitagawa that she looks beautiful, which catches her off guard. When Gojo's grandfather returns home, he's shocked to see his grandson hanging out with a beautiful young girl. As Gojo explains everything to his grandfather, Kitagawa realizes that she's fallen in love with Gojo. The next day, a young girl arrives at Gojo's house during a downpour, and Gojo's grandfather invites her inside, but leaves shortly after, so Gojo is unaware that there is a girl in their house. While she's taking a shower, Gojo starts to worry that there might be a burglar inside the house. In an unexpected turn of events, he catches the girl naked in the bathroom. She later introduces herself as Sajuna and tells Gojo that she came to his house to commission a cosplay outfit from him. She reveals that she is Juju, a popular cosplayer that Kitagawa had previously told him about. When Kitagawa arrives, she is starstruck by Sajuna's presence. While they talk, Sajuna expresses her desire to cosplay as a character from the anime Flower Princess Blaze, who Kitagawa is also a fan of. When Sajuna asks if Gojo and Kitagawa are dating, both of them get extremely flustered, and Gojo responds that he isn't dating anyone. Kitagawa is happy to hear this answer. She then asks Sajuna if she would like to do a cosplay photo shoot together, and Sajuna declines. But Sajuna changes her mind after Kitagawa offers to pay for a studio if they cosplay together. The next day, Gojo arrives at her apartment to pick up the DVDs, and is flustered at how Kitagawa is dressed. She's flustered too, but only because she's not wearing her contacts. When she finally lets him in, she tells him they should watch the series together. As they do so, Kitagawa realizes that she's having a home date with Gojo, and wishes for this moment to never end. Sajuna explains that her sister is the one that takes her pictures. Gojo wants to learn more about photography, so they decide to meet up at a restaurant with Shinju, Sajuna's sister. Shinju is actually Sajuna's younger sister, but looks older than her because of her height and her personality. The next day, Kitagawa invites Gojo to go to the beach and they have a really great time there. Gojo reveals that he never got to visit many places during his childhood because of his hobby. Surprised, Kitagawa promises to take him to many places during their summer vacation. Realizing what she just said, a flustered Kitagawa excuses herself. While Gojo is still having fun in the water, Kitagawa takes his picture as he trips and falls into the ocean. Some time passes, and Sajuna arrives at Gojo's place to try out the outfit that he made for her, and she's happy with it. Kitagawa also loves her outfit, and is shocked to see herself in this cosplay. She feels like she's been a Flower Princess Blaze character all along. She then takes a selfie with Sajuna and is amazed at how many likes she's getting. The girls head to the studio and wait for Gojo and Shinju to arrive. When they finally arrive, Shinju stuns the girls with a male cosplay outfit. In a flashback to the day they first visited the studio, Shinju admitted to Gojo that she actually wanted to cosplay as a male character from Flower Princess Blaze, but that it would be impossible to pull off because of her huge rack. Gojo agreed to help and took her back to his house, but Shinju's boobs are so big that they popped off the buttons of the shirt that she was supposed to wear for the cosplay. They did some research and eventually learned about an item to deal with her chest. Back in the present, Kitagawa and Sajuna are both surprised by how perfectly Shinju looks in her cosplay. All three of them take a picture together before their photo shoot to commemorate this day. The girls have their photo shoot, and Sajuna later thanks Gojo for helping her younger sister realize her love of cosplay. More time passes, and Kitagawa invites Gojo to a manga cafe, but he feels embarrassed to be alone with her. She recommends him a manga and expresses her desire to cosplay as one of the characters, but she doesn't think she can actually pull it off because that character has pigtails, and she thinks that this kind of hairstyle won't suit her. Gojo reassures her that it would, and with his encouragement, Kitagawa decides that she'll be cosplaying as a succubus next. Unbeknownst to him, the location for the photo shoot turns out to be a love hotel that Kitagawa had booked. Gojo is shocked about the location and is sitting awkwardly inside the room while Kitagawa gets changed into her cosplay. Once she's ready, he starts taking pictures of her, cosplayed as a succubus. Gojo suggests that Kitagawa should get on top of him to replicate certain scenes and poses from the manga. After taking the pictures, Gojo hears the couple in the next room doing the nasty. He realizes that the position they chose is extremely inappropriate, and tries to get Kitagawa off of him. But this only worsens the situation. They stare into each other's eyes and nearly kiss, but their moment together is interrupted by a call from the front desk, telling them that their time is up and they have to leave. Back home, Gojo thinks about the beautiful Kitagawa while he's alone in his room. A few days later, Gojo goes to Kitagawa's place to help her out with her next cosplay. He learns that she's been modeling for a magazine to save up for an expensive camera. They then watch a scary movie together, and Gojo is nervous because he's never seen one before. However, by the end of it, he's enjoying the movie and analyzing the costume designs, while Kitagawa is left terrified. Afterwards, she finishes her homework, and they decide to meet up later that night so they can go to the festival together. At the festival, Gojo is stunned by how cute Kitagawa looks in her yukata, which makes her happy. While watching the fireworks together, the two just stare at each other. After the fireworks, Kitagawa's sandals start hurting her, so Gojo carries her on his back to a nearby store to get her a new pair. Both are very happy with each other's company and promise to visit the festival again together next time. Later that night, when they've both returned home, Kitagawa calls Gojo because she's scared after watching another scary movie and wants to hear his voice. She tells Gojo to stay on the call with her no matter what. But Gojo begins to fall asleep. When she notices that he's passed out, Kitagawa tells him that she loves him.
How was the video? We hope it was good. If so, please check these videos. Also, please comment down your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing now to show the support to our channel. We hope to see you soon with another video right in this channel. Have a nice day.